Rolling. I am excited. I like this film. I mean, it's better. I'm more excited because I know what I'm getting myself into here, and I've already done a little bit of homework. I need to point something out though. I did not fucking plan for this to have any bearing it's pure serendipity, pure coincidence that Rogan had Tarantino on. I swear to fucking Christ, I did not plan for this to happen. I don't like. I like Joe Rogan, but I like Joe Rogan's clips because the podcast lately has gotten kind of like off the rails. Like when you have nothing to do for a couple hours, like yeah, excellent background filler, but like it's kind of just you listening to two stoners talk or like one stoner and like I mean it's entertaining if you got like excellent kitchen background shit, just like Opie and Anthony or like Come Town or something like that. But it's just like I prefer the clips. I don't have Spotify, and I'm not about to get Spotify just because of Joe Rogan. I am, despite this being like kind of a public thing that I'm putting out on YouTube for people to listen to, I don't need Spotify. I don't. I just don't. I don't need somebody knowing what my musical tastes are. It's bad enough that YouTube already knows, and I was like, that's embarrassing as fuck. Like someone should publish that shit. It's fucking. I like Lorde. I enjoy Lorde. I don't know why, but like it's like the guiltiest pleasure, and it's like Lorde is always on at Wawa, like 9 a.m. It's like Team comes on. You're like, fuck yeah, I like that shit. It fucking slaps. I mean, I don't know if slaps. I think I'm too old to be saying that shit. I'm gonna give myself one of these. I'm not hip, and I don't try to be. Hence why I'm watching a Quentin Tarantino movie that came out like 2 years ago by myself in an empty house, talking into a microphone for nobody. But at the same fucking time, that is, like, at least I'm being persistent. I think this is going to be the 23rd episode, if I'm not mistaken. Like, 23 of anything. $23. It's like, that's a couple meals right there. That's like a dinner date, if you go to the right Arby's. Nope, give myself that one for that, too. Motherfucker. No, like, I'm at least trying. Like, at least I'm fucking staying with it. Like, it's, this is something to do. But, I'm excited about this. But I didn't mean for it to be like, I didn't know that Rogan was going to have Quentin Tarantino on. It had nothing to do with that. But I just happened to want to watch that movie because we were talking about diamonds the other day. Like how to steal diamonds. Like, I was interested in that shit. Like, all right. It's some diamond movie. And, like, we watched Res Dogs. And that was a great movie. Yeah, so Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I guess Quentin Tarantino has, since the movie came out, adapted it into some kind of novel, which is, I think, what he was plugging. I'm not entirely sure about that either. I'm gonna have to Google that for the end of this. There's not, like, very much to be said on the upfront. Like I said, I think what the idea with this is I said how much I love Reservoir Dogs because it's a fucking awesome movie and it's like a mind-blowing piece. Like, the first time you see that movie, you want to see that movie again and, like, fucking soon. I didn't want to, actually, there's something I thought about, like, in the middle of Reservoir Dogs as well, because I was talking to someone a couple of days prior to this about, like, how Sergei Eisenstein is, like, the godfather of cross-cutting, and, like, Quentin Tarantino took cross-cutting and, like, story cross-cutting to, like, a whole different fucking level. And, like, yeah, just how much I enjoy, like, somebody that really has an affinity and, like, an appreciation for, like, narrative storytelling that's told in a fucking weird style. And Tarantino does a fucking great job at it. This is one of those films where it's the rare, like, there's a lot of shit going on simultaneously, but it all kind of occurs, within the same diegetic universe, really. Like, it's supposed to be this kind of, like, late 1960s, Hollywood, where it's like on the end, like the waning days of, like, the big studio shit, and everything was getting a little sleazier and a little more private and a little more, like, I don't know, like, there's something innocent about, like, the late 50s and early 60s in, like, cinema. I mean, not innocent, but, like, it was still, like, this new medium that they were able to, like, convey emotions, like, through a fucking, like, a scene, like something that you would feel compelled, like, from, like, a play, or a novel or something. Like that was like the only like newspapers. Fuck, like radio was around, but like there wasn't much as far as like today with the oversaturation of fucking everything. You're literally walking around with like a fucking billboard in your pocket that just shows you anything you need, and you can purchase shit you think you need from that shit. But I'm not gonna go on that rant again. There, like the innocence of that era was like just on the end, like the real like sad kind of like end of like this era. And I like, I like that about this because it is a time that's like kind of glamorized, but at the same time Quentin Tarantino is such a sleazy motherfucker that like he gives it this authenticity, and that's like kind of why I have the problem with it, because it's like a linear story where you know what it's supposed to be building up to, and then it's subverts your expectations. Like you kind of knew that, like from the way things were going, that this was supposed to be like a reimagining, because there wasn't anybody named fucking Cliff Dingleberry or whatever his fucking name is, and I forget what Brad Pitt's always just Brad Pitt, especially in Tarantino films. Like he's excellent in fucking True Romance. He's like, that's one of his best fucking roles. I love that Brad Pitt exists in that universe just to get mad at Tony Soprano and fucking smoke weed on fucking Michael Rappaport's couch. That's a fucking awesome character, and that is stellar use of fucking both of those people. And I don't know, it just is like, yeah, it's one of those fucking, I love him for it. He's a cool guy, and that's what he just needs to be, like that older brother, that more like down to earth, chill, little hippie, little haywire, one of those fuckers. Everybody's got a couple of those in their life. One of my favorites, I can't say his fucking name, actually. Fucking, I'm not going to bother even bleeping this shit out. All right, I got 3 more minutes. So yeah, things that I want to focus on carrying over from Reservoir Dogs. The first thing I just kind of touched on and then glazed over because I'm a stoned ass bastard. But I want to focus on the style of storytelling as far as the linear narration linear narrative goes, because I like Tarantino telling shit kind of like out of order. In fact, like Pulp Fiction, for example, functions as well as it does because it's like told the way it is. And there used to be VHS copies of it like kind of told from start to finish in the linear sense, which is like interesting and it's outright, like it's different. It's like a completely unique thing, and it wasn't intended to be shown that way, which is even why it's more interesting in my opinion. But that being said, it isn't necessarily better, let alone good. It's kind of a weird on the nose movie, and it's very lopsided because there's like these moments of fucked up shit happening, but then like you kind of have seen and departed with the characters, where like you get this nice melange throughout, and the characters that do pop in and out, it's like, oh, you kind of like, well, he just got knocked off, so he's alive in this one. Yeah, it's like it gives you a kind of zestier observation of the movie, and I like that. I enjoy that about it. But yeah, like this, Reservoir Dogs does the exact same thing, so that's what I'm getting at. Like, this is a little bit different. This is its own kind of thing in the style of Tarantino. The closest is The Hateful Eight, which was the film before this, and The Hateful Eight is pretty, like, linear, but it has such heavy callbacks, and the way that Channing Tatum's character is kind of introduced, it's like a little bit more of what his style is, like what his story style is. This just, it kind of felt jarring. And then, like, I have another thing that I want to focus on. The characters in Reservoir Dogs and their kind of like development and story arc. I want to kind of point some things out about the both Jesus Christ, sorry my phone's going off in the background, but I'm almost done this fucking shit. Thank you whoever is fucking texting me. The character development. Let's just focus on the characters and figure out whether or not it's just like we really like the people playing these characters and we're giving them a little bit of a nod because they're playing likable characters, or not necessarily like characters played by likable actors, or are they well-developed characters? Because let's be completely fucking honest, that's going to be a difficult thing to wrap your head around. And yeah, I guess just the last thing is the story twist, the inversion, whatever you'd like to call it. So let's like focus on those three things. And without further ado, we're watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Okay, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like, my opinion on this film has not changed one fucking bit. I was gonna do a bit. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'll still do a bit. Here we go. Here. On 11 March 1977, 3 years after making Chinatown, Polanski was arrested at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel for sexual assault of a 13-year-old Samantha Gailey. Gailey had modeled for Polanski during a Vogue photo shoot the previous day around a swimming pool at the Bel Air home of Jack Nicholson. Polanski was indicted on 6 counts of criminal behavior, including rape. At arraignment, he pleaded not guilty to all the charges. Many executives in Hollywood came to his defense. Gailey's attorney arranged a plea bargain in which 5 of 6 charges would be dismissed, and Polanski accepted. And then he basically ran away to fucking London and then France. And then his underpants. No, that's not a good one. But yeah, that's where my fucking opinion lies on that shit. Like, Quentin Tarantino, I have no, like, whatever. I guess he had a good explanation for what he did with Bruce Lee. Like, oh, he did all his own stunts. And, like, upon a third watch of this, I have kind of noticed. I knew there was this scene where, whatever fucking Margot Buttholes, fucking Sharon Tate, yeah. Like, her character's training with Bruce Lee. Perfectly fine. I didn't realize that the only thing is like the fight. But that being said, it's like the Steve McQueen character just pointing out that Roman Polanski fucked up his relationship with Sharon Tate, and then he was in like France or whatever while shooting a film while the murders happened. Like, yeah, like there's a heavy implication there. There's also like this implication that like something bad's gonna happen at that point in the movie, but like the way it's just like oversimplified like that, it's like, come the fuck on. I mean, I know it happened like 8 years or so later when he did that, but like, yeah, it's like it's something that he just brushes off. Like, that's a big fucking deal, and like the fact that he's only in it for like the first act, I think, if that, like, it's just like, come the fuck on. Like, I don't know. That part like sits with me in a weird fucking way. And it's just because like I don't really enjoy the fact that like it's like, supposed to be this like kind of gritty, but like he's got DUIs. That's why him and fucking Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt hang out in the film. And like, yeah, like he's a stunt man, and he's got all this fucking drama and shit, but like, it's kind of this like love song about that like waning studio era, like I said in the beginning of this. And why the fuck are you going to include Roman Polanski and put him in this like kind of rose-colored glass? Like, fuck that. Fuck, it just irritates me to no fucking end. But like, all right, I had a couple of things that I wanted to directly address. And have concise ideas about them from the last film to this film. The first one was the storytelling, and the storytelling was fucking like, it's fine, it's completely adequate. Tarantino did his thing a little bit, like he did zest up a little bit of the like kind of editing and the approach to the filmmaking, but it just didn't feel like, like it felt a little too like linear for him. And ever since Inglourious Bastards, he's kind of been throwing in these like little fucking, like it worked in Inglourious Bastards, like where the little cutaways where they have Samuel L. Jackson explaining like how like film emulsion is real flammable and shit, and like Hugo Stiglitz and like shit like that. But like, that story is like told out of order in a way where it's like that. This is just kind of like, it's like these moments with these characters kind of throughout like a couple of days in their lives, and I don't know. If the story would have been better if he had a little more like control, I guess, over like, or maybe not control, but like he kind of like went back to his roots a little bit more on this, because like it is Very like it's not never gets dull except the middle, like the the part of it that's supposed to be dull. I believe it's dull on the third. The whole like thing where he's freaking out in his trailer, but like also like he befriends the little girl on the movie shoot. He's like, that's the best acting I've ever seen. I think it's just like my gripe with actors or whatever. But like that is just the most fucking ridiculously boring part of the movie. And like it's not like anything like I get that it's like a meta thing, like it's like a film happening within a film, and like it's cool and it's like quirky and it's neat to see Tarantino play with like like oh let the audience see how I see it and like kind of how the methodology of this shit unfolds. You get a good snapshot of it, but the story itself, like because of that, I feel like it is like so like heavily focused on kind of like being a movie about movies that it has to be told this way, and I don't buy it. Like I don't fucking know. And also, like, I did notice that like there's these like stings and musical cues that he uses that are like ambient noises. I do like that because the transitions are nice. One thing that is kind of cool. It doesn't really help you place where in the film, like in the world you are or whatever, other than like Los Angeles. But I do love that he always has the radio on, and it's like always got like the little KTLA fucking like jingles and shit. I don't know why that just it helps like kind of like it's one of the things where in this it doesn't really serve as a part like a other than like kind of ambience, but I like it. I always like the background music and shit, like when fucking Brad Pitt's tripping, he just kicks the radio on real fucking loud. That shit's fun. Like I don't know. But yeah, he's focusing on the story. Like I can't get over it. Like it's one of those ones where I saw this in theaters and was blown away at how fucking like underwhelmed I was. Like I was really disappointed in how fucking much I did not like this movie. And then I bought it because I found it for cheap on DVD. Popped it in. I was like, all right, I think Jay Bowman for Red Letter Media pointed out that like you got to give it's just a character hangout really. So if like you can find likable elements about the characters, then you'll probably enjoy the movie. And I'm like, all right, I'll give it a look that way. Sure enough, it is. But like it just like as a Tarantino, and like upon that, like, this time was fine. It was like just I haven't changed at all since the last time I watched it. It's like it's an entertaining movie. It's very well done. I fucking hate Kevin Smith's stupid daughter's horse fucking head that's in this movie. But other than that, it's like it's fine. It's not bad. It's just like Tarantino. I feel like he lost his edge. He's a little full of himself, and I guess he's turning this shit into a book now too. I haven't looked that up. I've been meaning to like figure out what the fuck he was talking about on Spot. I just don't have Spotify, but. I guess he turned it into a book, so I guess the novelization would probably add as like some supplementary and enhancement to like what's going on exactly. I'm not fucking reading that shit. I got enough books already on backlog I gotta read. But yeah, like me griping about the storytelling. It just is like the linear narrative is not his strong suit, and like it's good when there's a lot of things going on, but it's like you get these like long isolated moments. Like anything with Brad Pitt and his dog, fucking awesome. Anything with Brad Pitt in general in this film, fucking awesome. But like the fucking cowboy movie in the middle of this shit is just like feels like filler. I don't fucking know. It just doesn't connect with me, and it's like all about like the narcissism of actors. But like in reality, I'm sure that this dude like they're like this, but it's unbeknownst to them. But they're over hamming it up and being like, yeah, I'd never act like that, and then like be that exact person. Like it doesn't connect with me. I'm just fucking. It's not interesting, and it's just dwelled on because of the way it's cut. But anyway. Moving on, I got two more things. All right, so I mentioned this, and like I didn't even look up the guy's name, or like any of the people's fucking names besides the main characters. Really, I don't even know. Bruce Dern's the only one I know who plays the old man. Fine, he's an old yelly man, and he does a really good job of being an old yelly man in this shit, and it's fucking great. He's great in The Hateful Eight as an old yelly man too, like just fucking awesome. It's a role that serves him well, and Quentin Tarantino always has a use for him. So like, fuck it, throw him into the mix. I like it. But yeah, like everybody that's cast in this movie, it's like you get Brad Pitt, who's a likable fucking person in real life. Like, you kind of are like, all right, like, he seems like a cool dude, like someone that you wouldn't mind getting a beer with in real life. Probably has some cool stories, probably knows some cool things. Like, it doesn't want to, he just seems like a person that you would want to hang out with. That's the allure of having an actor like that. And I guess the fucking same with fucking Leo. He's like not your everyman, but he's like just a little bit worse at being better than people, if that makes sense, if that's relatable. And like the characters themselves, like it's not like them. It's not them. It's obviously a character. It's like a caricature probably of real people, but I don't believe it to be a like I don't know. I think it's more like I don't see these characters like learning anything. I don't see these characters growing. They're static, and the only thing that really happens is that like the ego and narcissism that both characters, well, I guess Leonardo DiCaprio's character started the film with, he's at the same baseline at the end as is Brad Pitt, who's like slightly better than Leo, but he just doesn't have the attitude and the ability to fucking kiss the right asses. So like I don't fucking know. Like they're just the characters do nothing. They're entertaining. Like don't get me wrong, but I think it's just the actors are more interesting. Like I would rather Google Brad Pitt than like read his Wikipedia page than fucking like actually watch this movie for a fourth time probably. I don't fucking know. Just they don't grow, they don't do anything. They're these static characters and like they're well spoken because like I will give Tarantino that. They're at least like entertaining to interact and like but you're just enjoying Leonardo DiCaprio hanging out with Brad Pitt and Brad Pitt hanging out with a dog. Like those are likable people doing likable things. I'd fucking watch an hour and a half of just Brad Pitt and the fucking dog interacting. Like fuck. It doesn't have to be edited together all fancy. You get like you could just call it an art house film, Tarantino. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? But, like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm a staunch fan. I like Henry Rollins. I like Quentin Tarantino, too. He makes fucking great movies. He makes entertaining movies, at the least. For this being his worst film, it's not a fucking bad film. And that kind of brings me to my third point, which is I really cannot express how much, like, his films have always just been something that's like a nice safety net, like something that's always been reassurance of like, if you're gonna go see this in theaters, you're not gonna have a bad time. You're like, you're experiencing something for the first time the way it was like intended to be experienced, because Tarantino's a big film fucking dork and he knows that his films look really fucking good blowing up on the big screen. He was touring with a 70mm print of fucking Hateful Eight. Never went to see it, but I appreciate the fact that he did it. He still shoots on film, which is badass. Fucking wish more people would do that. All this Netflix garbage shot on fucking Reds with like just fucking supercomputers built into them. It is whatever. They look fine. They're just like you make anything in fucking 4K. It's just the quality of the fucking writing. I actually I always bitch about the writing on shit too. I actually shot an email off to, I think it's called the ISA or something. It's like an International Screenwriters Academy or something like that. But I'm just gonna try and fucking submit one of my scripts and see what I can fucking do with it, because all I do is bitch about how bad screenwriting is. Like, all right, stupid, put your own fucking work online. I was developing a television show called Herd, which is about working in a kitchen. So, you know what? Fucking good. People fucking love it already. Got whole fucking first season written. And I got the pilot down and everything, too. I know I want to cast on it. I know where I want to shoot it. And, like, fucking easy to do. I just need to get, like, some people to help me punch it up a little bit. Anyway, off my dumb aspirations, but, yeah, like, fucking you got this like nice baseline with Tarantino, or like, even this is my least favorite of his films. I'd say the Kill Bills 1 and 2 are probably like not fucking far behind them, but like they're slightly better than this because they use David Carradine. David Carradine's a fucking asshole, but he's great in those movies. I think he's in the second one. He might have been dead by the second one, but anyway, David Carradine fucking rules. Fucking go, yeah, Kung Fu. Give it up for fucking Kung Fu. Give it up for Choke Jerks gone wrong. I feel bad about that. Sorry, David Carradine. That was kind of funny. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, so you got this night. Like, so this was like my least favorite of Tarantino's movies, and Kill Bill, and then the rest are like, I know Reservoir Dogs is my favorite one, and then Close, I guess it counts. Be True Romance, but if you got it, just fucking Pulp Fiction, and then everything else kind of comes in behind that. Jackie Brown is like the one that I watched most recently that I did really like, and I fucking bought a couple. I bought fucking what the fuck is the Robert Rodriguez one that he wrote or that he produced or whatever? Fucking, oh God, it's right over here. Fucker, taking this show on the road. Desperado. That fucking one. Fuck. I need to get someone to fucking write shit down for me like Jamie. Yeah, Jamie, write that down. Jamie, pull that up on Google. Fucking cool shit, man. That's my podcast. Yeah, and I decided in the spirit of Quentin Tarantino, I forgot to mention this at the very fucking top of this, man. I took a fucking Delta 8 edible today. 125 milligram Oreo. 125 milligram Oreo. And it just hit me a little while ago. I was out on a walk, enjoying this lovely, lovely, cool 2nd of July weather. It's not the 3rd yet. But yeah, no, that was nice. Nice fucking edible cruise. Because Quentin Tarantino's a huge pothead. And, I mean, he's not as much as, like, Kevin Smith. But, like, yeah, fucking QT fucking reefer. But, yeah, I like the consistency of Tarantino's films. I can't express it enough that, like, even though I'm bitching about this film and I'm bitching about Roman Polanski and how, like, he did it, it's just that I know, like, you can expect better from QT. Like, you know that he's capable of doing something that's much more mind-blowing, much more intriguing, much more fascinating and engrossing. And, like, this was fun. This was something that he wanted to do, and I fully acknowledge and recognize that. And it's a fun one to, like, kind of be along the ride for. But it's like, if you know what it is, it's like, it's the thing of it. It's like, you want to watch someone, like, jerk off, it's their own. I always thought, everybody that went to film school with me hates that I would say masturbatory too much, but it's a fucking masturbatory piece, man. Like, all it is just him stroking his fucking ego, and that's fine. And it's just like an homage to an era that's long gone. And it's like this loss of innocence that you've kind of reimagined. It's fine. It's, whatever. But that being said, like, it's well done. It's really well done. I've been watching a lot of fucking garbage lately. And I'm going to take these last 2.5 minutes seriously and say that as much as I talk shit on a lot of things, there's actors. There's one actor that plays the fucking the adjacent role to him when he's Leo when he's shooting the cowboy thing, and I gotta say he's probably my favorite part of this. Or maybe not my favorite part of this, but I know who my favorite part is. But I just wanted to like acknowledge that role is so fucking well done. I forget who the fuck it is, but like I just like that he treats it like a fucking job. And like if you know anything about fucking actors in real life, he fucking nailed it. But no, the only character that I really genuinely like, she stood out, and it's like the whole situation where Kurt Russell is, I forget her fucking name, but the chick that when Brad Pitt and the guy that plays Bruce Lee are fighting, the chick that comes out and yells at him and then fires Brad Pitt. So if you've ever been around anybody in the industry, nepotism is fucking crazy. And Brad Pitt and Kurt Russell playing off each other is like, hey, you know my wife? Yeah, stay the fuck away from my wife. Like, she doesn't want to see you. And like all that, it's so fucking true. And it's like that hit so hard, like for me, because I was like, God damn it, like that really is a fucking thing. Like, after working in the industry and seeing just how far like being somebody's son or cousin or brother or nephew like can get you, it really is fucking sickening. I'm not gonna name any names. It's like, this is fucking annoying. All I want to do is make fucking movies. So I'm still trying. I'm reviewing movies, which is, I guess, like I'm getting there. I hope to network with this fucking, like, if anybody has suggestions too, if you know a place where you can submit scripts and get ideas and shit, or like any kind of like writers unions, I'm all for it, because I want to quit working in a kitchen for the rest of my fucking life. I'm 30, my body's breaking down. I'm ready to fucking do some shit that's, mental, less physical. With that being said, today was a pretty good day at work. Happy 4th of July, everybody. I have officially run out. Watch fucking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Don't be too mean to it, but like, It's not my favorite. Just take it for what it is. It's a fun little hangout, and that's all I got to say about that. About that. About that.